Welcome, this is just a quick training video for ease of commissioning once the machine arrives.
Okay, so we have A connected.
And that is connected to our main line here. 8mm air line.
And on the air line we should have 0.6 to 8, between 0.6 to 8 bars, the pressure we need to have. If it's low, we need to turn up and lock it up.
Okay.
Now the first thing we need to do is go to the operation. Just turn on the conveyor only, nothing else. Only turn the conveyor on. So we have our conveyor moving. Now first thing we're going to test is if this bottle traveling freely through the rollers. So that no touching.
Well, that's good.
So if this is touching the plate or rollers, what we need to do is we need to play with these guides. We need to push the bottles away from the side where it's touching. Okay? And if it's touching there, we need to push this one in. Okay, now, if it's touching the roller, we need to bring the roller backward. Loosen the lever here. Bring the roller back and lock. Now we will see. Okay? So no touch. That's the first thing we need to do. Second thing is still the conveyor on. We just need to turn on a clamp. Now let's see the clamping timing and the pressure, everything correct. So if the timing is wrong, you'll see the bouncing bottles. For example, in the program settings, we are running program number 1, label number 1. In the program settings, we have a clamp delay time here, 350 milliseconds. So if this 300 millisecond was short like this, you will see what will happen. So that's too short. It's too early clamp. Okay. Of course, if it's too late, it's bouncing backwards, hitting the bowl. So 800, let's see. It's too late. So what we need is we need to have correct timing to clamp the bottle when it's exactly on the center. That's what we need. That's the first thing we need to check. The second thing is just on the right hand side of the clamp delay, we have clamp time. How long do you want to clamp? So this time has to be longer than our labeling time. Okay? To check that, we need to turn on the label. Still the number 1, and the labeling speed is 3500 Hertz, and the labeling head will be shooting the label after the clamp, after 500 milliseconds, so half a second after the clamp triggered. Okay, this is only one labeling. You see that? This is only one. Let's see again. This is only one label. So to convert it to transfer to this double label, you need to turn on the mode. Take longer time to label the bottle. That's why we need to increase our clamp time. If it was, so 2000 is just enough for the labeling double on the speed of 3500. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do is, so just on one label, press test button. Okay, turn off the conveyor, turn off the clamp, just test one button. and it will shoot one label. So this labeling program number 1 shoot one label full, and the next label has to be ended just before the plate. So if we go to the program settings, and if you see the stop location, if the stop location is different, when we test the label, the next label is overfed. This is wrong. So we need to have this 0 flag. To change, we need to play with the number, decrease the number, and the 5 is ending 0. So no flag. So this is what we need. That's the stop location. Now, we were labeling on a speed of 3500 Hertz. That speed should match to the roller speed. So we can imagine the bottle has clamped and the bottle is rotating. While it's rotating, we are shooting a label. So that label shooting and the bottle rotation label speed has to be same. Not by number, it should be by eye, it should be very similar, should be matching. So 3150 roller speed Hertz is matching to the 3500. Okay, next thing, we are labeling double, but we can control the gap between the two labels. Okay, this error, why it's happening here is because the clamp is pushing too strong and it's hitting against to the roller, and the bottle and label is touching the plate. So if it's touching the plate, the bottle will grab the label web here in between the roller and pulling the whole label. So to fix that, we need to decrease the strength of this the clamp roller, or we can just move this whole head away from the bottle. So to do that, you need to wind the labeling head backward, that way. And we still need to have a gap between the plate and the roller. So we need like a 1.5 to 2 millimeter gap, so we can change the angle of the plate just by pushing it. Okay? And we can check if this bottle is touching the label. Clamp on and test. And let's see if a bottle is touching a plate. Okay, now, again, to continue the gap between the two labels on one bottle. So double label mode on, and the pause time is 5 milliseconds. Retread the labels. Okay. Now that label's here, ready to label. Okay, we can imagine that's the first label being applied, and the 5 millisecond delay we have here, and next label. So if this gap, this is our 5 mil, if this gap is bigger than the other side of the gap, we need to decrease the timing. 2, 4. Or if this is smaller, we need to increase the timing to 10 or something. So that's to control the gap.
Thank you for watching.